I am Mrs. Parrott, the elementary school counselor here at Smith and at Lang, and I would like to thank everyone for listening to our timber presentation. I'd like to thank the administrators, the board, teachers, community, and students for supporting this amazing character education program. Timber is growing, it's evolving, and without the support of all of our stakeholders, it wouldn't be possible. It is an honor to be able to make this presentation, and thank you for your time. This year, our theme is connection. We chose this due to COVID and the shutdowns, and we all felt a little bit isolated and out of touch with our families and our friends and our school. Through our lessons, we will be making connections with our timber families, with ourselves, with our own families at home, humanity, digitally safe connections, and connections as a school. Hello, Smith students. This is Mrs. Parrott.
Hey, Harmon students. I'm Mr. Wadham.
Together, we are your elementary counseling team. Today, we're going to talk about timber. For those of you who don't know, Timber is our character education program for our district.
We come to school to learn things like math and science and history, but we also need to learn things about how to be a happier, healthier, better all-around person. That's where Timber comes in.
In the past, we've learned about self-care, we've learned about having a more flexible brain, and we've learned better leadership skills.
This year, we're going to learn something a little bit different.
And we've prepared a little something for you.
Yeah, we have. Hit it.
Hit it.
Picture it. 2020. Year of Australian bushfires, murder hornets, UFOs, Sonic the Hedgehog, and COVID-19.
Since way back in March, we've been trying to do our very best to stay safe at home and limit our contact with other people. Some of us have had to miss out on family vacations, adventures with friends, going to camp, and just spending as much time with people and to see them as much as we want for nearly 6 whole months. That's a long time, especially when you don't know when it will end. It's true that some days are easier than others, but that doesn't change the fact that we are missing seeing people and being around others.
And it can be hard to see the same people all the time, too. Sometimes we can start to feel a little cuckoo bananas because we've been spending so much time sitting in the same spot, looking at the same people, doing the same things over and over again without variety, or getting to spend time with people outside our own families. Sure, we love them, and seeing more of them has been really nice, but we need to get out of the house and spend time with other people, too. It's important for our health as well as our mental and emotional well-being.
That's why, for Timber this year, we've decided to focus on connection.
We've spent so much time being disconnected from each other that we really wanted to make sure that everyone feels the love from the Smith and Harmon families, and picks up some tricks about how to build and maintain meaningful relationships along the way.
Because we need each other.
Now more than ever.
In September, we'll be spending time with our Timber families, we'll connect with new students, and check in with everyone. We just want to spend time together, have fun, laugh, and share some stories.
In October, we'll talk about how to connect with humanity as a whole. One of the most important skills you can develop to make the world a better place is to be able to connect with people, no matter the thought, belief, culture, value, race, or ethnicity.
In November, we'll focus on how to connect better with our families. Almost no two families are alike, and we'll explore what makes a family special and what we can do to improve our relationships with them.
In January, we'll talk about how to connect with yourself. You have to be able to do that to connect to other people. Hashtag New Year, New Me.
In February, we'll talk about how to build better connections with our friends. And in March, we'll talk about how to establish connections throughout the community.
In April, we'll talk about how to make safe connections online. And in May, we'll talk about how to bring it all together and connect at school.
This year, we've decided to take Timber online.
We're going virtual so that everyone can be connected, no matter the option they've chosen.
And pretty soon, we'll be coming around to your classrooms and checking in on you.
We've missed you. We want to get a chance to connect with you before Timber gets started.
Until then, welcome back to school.
We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
start over. No big deal.
Like the whole thing?
Yeah.
For timber this year at Smith, we chose to change our normal way of dividing into our families, and due to cross-contamination of COVID, and we decided to stay with our home rooms. We wanted to make connections with our own students and their classmates this year. Since we have an AM and PM cohort, which is only about 3 hours to do all the academic pieces, it left a little to no time for kids to be able to interact with each other. And with the distancing, it makes it even harder. At Smith, we have several new students, and making friends without lunch and recess is a difficult task. We hope through this model, it will increase our sense of community and belonging here at Smith. Also, our specials teachers, intervention specialist, gifted title, and myself have teamed up, and we are delivering timber to Option 2 students so they can be a part of timber as well. The smiles that came through the screens this past week were infectious. They were so happy, and it was an amazing sight to see. It was something that we all enjoyed, for sure. During our September lesson, we shared about ourselves. We made touchless handshakes. For example, we had a foot wave, a handshake with our elbow called a chicken wing. And then we also had fish faces. Those were all some of the top favorites. We then shared with our kids the likes that we have, things that we did over the summer, what good things that have come out of COVID, and things that we really wish may change soon. We signed off with finding a commonality between all of us within the group, and we also decided that our first lesson was so much fun that we couldn't wait till the next. So we all were happy and ready to go. Thank you for listening to my part of the presentation, and I hope you enjoyed our video. It was a lot of fun to make. Thanks.
At Harmon, we did things just a little differently. Each of our timber families got together using Google Meet. We wanted to make sure we got to maintain the relationships that we built with all of our timber students, so they had that one more familiar face that they remembered from before, and another way for us to integrate our Option 2 students in with all of the students that are studying in school. And it worked out really well. We were worried that some of the technical challenges might overwhelm our teachers, but we managed to make it work with a little extra planning, a little extra love, and a little extra encouragement. And it was really fun to walk around the building and see all of the students in their rooms. It was kind of like the Jetsons. Like, they were all sitting there on their computers with their headphones, all in a different meeting while their teacher's in a different meeting. But to hear them talking to each other and hear them laughing and seeing them smiling, to see the kids they don't ever really get to see anymore because they're always in their classroom, was incredible. When our timber committee met this summer to decide our theme for the year, Connection, we needed to then decide how to break it up into different sections for each month for the lesson. And we quickly recognized that talking about diversity and inclusion was really important to all of us, given the nature of the world right now. And we wanted to put it early in the year, so that's why we decided to make October truly our first lesson, since September was all about reestablishing the connections and the relationships that we already had. And so our committee is planning that actively as we go. So I can't really talk about what the lesson will look like because we haven't developed it yet. However, one thing that we do know for sure is that we want to handle it very delicately. We know that this is very important, but again, in our current social and political climate, that could be contentious, honestly. And so thinking of the appropriate, developmentally appropriate language to use and language that doesn't sound very charged is important to us. So we'll be focusing more on celebrating our own uniquenesses and how everybody brings special things to the table that enrich our lives, that create this beautiful tapestry of humanity, and how that connects us all and how we can grow together by learning from each other. That'll be the angle that we take most likely. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to talk about this with you today. We are very passionate about timber and about socio-emotional learning in general and character development. We all know that those things are directly correlated, and influence academic performance, and to be able to invest time and resources and energy into developing not only their brains but their souls is a wonderful thing that we get to provide because you support it. And that does not go unnoticed. And it's, of course, particularly exciting to me as the counselor. So I feel very well placed, very valued, and thank you for everything.